In this video, I'll be presenting my futures and options individual assignment. In this assignment, we were asked to describe what a contract for difference was and the risks involved in it. We also had to partake in investments in commodity, forex, indices, and shares on the Plus 500 website. We would have to analyze how and why we chose those trades, be it fundamental or technical analysis, and conclude. A CFD or contract for difference is a contract where the buyer and seller agree to pay in cash at the closing of a contract the difference between the opening and the closing price of the underlying share or some other underlying asset, multiplied by the number of shares that was invested in the contract. The three main risks associated with the CFD is a market risk, liquidity risk, and gapping risk. The market risk is the risk associated with the fluctuation of price for the underlying asset. Liquidity risk is the risk that there isn't enough sellers or buyers to turn your CFD into cash. The gapping risk is the risk whereby you decide to close a position at a certain time and value. However, due to the nature of the instrument, by the time you close out your position, those prices may have varied. The investments I chose to partake in are in oil, Vodafone, the FTSE 100 or the UK 100, and the British pound to US dollar. The reason why I chose to invest in oil is that it's an essential resource. Almost every facet of the business world requires oil, one way or another. And the main change that made me decide to go for oil is that the Venezuelan government is currently going through their election. This has caused the supply of the oil from Venezuela, which has been known as one of the largest oiling farms in the world, to be unstable. This means that the supply will drop and demand will maintain, which means the price will still increase. So as a result, I decided to invest in oil. The next investment I went into was in Vodafone. Vodafone is a major telecommunications provider based in the UK with over 444 million users worldwide. They have recently announced a partnership with Ireland to push IoT, or Internet of Things. This is a major component Industry 4.0, with a proprietary new network known as NB-IoT or Narrowband Internet of Things. They are seen to have progressed to a major leader in this industry. The next investment I went into was the British pound to the US dollar. At the moment, the UK and the EU are in talks post-Brexit to loosen the boundaries between them in terms of trade. However, this is still speculation. On top of this, there was also a statement released by the Bank of England announcing that they had a high confidence that interest rates would increase. The next investment opportunity I took was in the FTSE 100 or the UK 100. The reason for this was the recent talks between US and China regarding the importing and exporting of vehicles. The UK heavily depends on the vehicle industry, with companies such as Rolls-Royce, Range Rover, and Vauxhall. As a result, if the trade talks would be favorable, the FTSE 100 would increase in value. Now let's look at the results of the trades. First of all, let's look at oil. I bought a position at the price of $72.64, and I closed the position at a price of $72.90. This gave me a profit of 28,159 ringgit and 19 cents. The reason why it went up in value was because of the outcome of the elections. In Venezuela, the oil is run by the government. The highly controversial win by the current party has caused it to struggle to maintain the supply of oil, which increases the price in the world market. The next investment was in the FTSE 100 or the UK 100. The opening price was set at $7,853.75. I closed my position at $7,858.82, which gave me a profit of 11,393 ringgit and 2 cents. The reason for the increase in value was the outcome of the talks between the US and China. They had agreed terms that would reduce the import taxes for both China and the US. As a result, the British transport industry would prosper, which increased its value. On top of that, the devaluing of the British pound played a role in making it more attractive to invest in the UK. The next investment was on Vodafone. I bought a stake at the opening price of £196.87, and I closed it at £197.08, which gave me a profit of 179 ringgit and 47 cents. The reason why the price didn't increase as much as I anticipated was because the IoT hasn't really been fully adopted yet. As a result, it's too early to gauge the success. The last investment that I partaked in was the British pound to the US dollar. The opening rate was 1.34511 pound, and I closed it at 1.33062 pound. The reason why I had to close it was I didn't have the margin to maintain it. So I had a loss of 207,456 ringgit and 32 cents. The reason was that the US talks with China ended up benefiting the US, which made it appreciate in value. On top of that, the talks between the UK and EU were put on hold. This caused the British pound to depreciate and the US dollar to appreciate.